Mage Knight.
Let's play Mage Knight, First Reconnaissance. So in this video we're not going to walk through all the details, it's more of a reminder. The first thing that you want to do is get out your fame and reputation track and put it up near the top of your playing area, but do leave some space for your enemy tokens. The next step is to get out all the enemy tokens by color and put them above the fame and reputation board. Now in the rules you would get out all of the tokens, but if this is your first time through, I would suggest that you limit yourself to the tokens that have an attack value of the monster less than 5. Especially watch for these additional resistance icons. It's okay to have fire or ice resistance, but physical resistance would bump this up to 10. In addition, for First Reconnaissance, you won't actually be conquering a city, so I don't think you need those tokens. And the Draconum enemy, I would suggest that you don't use those because it might be a little bit too hard for your first time through. The first set of cards that we can pull out are the spell cards. They have a purple background and a text box up top and below. So shuffle those and then place them right next to the enemy tokens. The next set of cards are the wound cards, and they're very easy to find. Just stack them up and place them next to the spell deck. The next set of cards that we'll pull out are the artifact cards, and they have a light brown color above and a darker brown color below. So pull those cards out, shuffle them, and place them face down next to the wound cards. The next step is to prepare the advanced action cards. Now the advanced action cards differ from the basic action cards in that the advanced action cards do not have a symbol to the upper right. This is a basic card and it has the Norowas symbol, but this is an advanced action because it has no symbol up top. Once you have separated out the advanced action cards, there's one more step that you need to do. In the lower right corner there is a number. Here this card says 14 through 28. In the First Reconnaissance mission, you don't use the cards 17 through 28, so remove those from the set of action cards. Now shuffle the advanced action cards and turn them face down and place them to the left of the fame and reputation board. The next step is to pull out the unit cards. The cards with the gold tint are not used in First Reconnaissance, so just put those away. But the regular units have a silver tint, and we're going to use those. Shuffle the regular unit cards and place them next to the advanced action cards. The next step is to create the unit offer, and that depends upon the number of players playing. You take the number of players and add 2 to that. So here we have a layout for a 2-player game. So 2 plus 2 is 4. If you're playing the solitaire or solo variant, you'll be using the dummy player, and so that counts as 2 players. For the first game, there should be at least 1 unit in the offer with a village icon on the left-hand side of the card. If not, shuffle the cards and deal them until this is true. The next step would be to put out the Day-Night card and create your mana source. Now, the number of mana die that you use depends upon the number of players, like the unit offer. So if you have 2 players, you have 1 for each player, plus 2 additional. When you put your mana source out, less than half of them can be depleted. The next step is the starting tile and the countryside tiles. Place the starting tile A side up and order these tiles from 1 to 11, starting at the top down to the bottom. If you only have 2 players, you only use tiles 1 through 8. If you have 3 players, you use tiles 1 through 9. The next step is to take the core tiles, the one with the brown backing, and select 1 tile with a city and 2 tiles without a city on it, mix them up, and place them face down on the bottom of the stack. Now place the tile stack in a location that's easy to access but out of the way. So for each player, you'll shuffle their cards and place them face down below the hero card with all the level tokens there. The first command token will be placed just to the right of the deed deck, and all the skill tokens will be shuffled and placed face down. You will play all of your units to the right of your deed deck. The dummy player is used to control pacing if you're playing in the solitaire mode. All you need for the dummy player is the dummy player card, their basic actions, and the turn token. At the bottom of a hero card are 3 colored dots, and those will represent crystals. So in this case, we put 2 blue crystals and 1 red crystal. Next, separate out the daytime tactic cards and the nighttime tactic cards and place them to the side. For the final step of setup, make sure that each hero has their skill card, and for all of the sites, make sure you've pulled out the site cards because they help make it easy to interact with those sites. For each player, start with 1 shield on the reputation track at 0 and 1 shield on the fame track at 0. In the first reconnaissance mission, there are 2 swords, and you will place the marauding orcs face up, 1 token on each of the swords. The level token shows your hand card limit, and so at the beginning of the game you will draw that many cards into your hand. The players now choose their tactic cards. They can look at their hand to decide which card that they would like to choose. The player that chose their hero last chooses the tactic card first in the first round. If you're using the dummy player chooses last, just a card that is chosen at random. After the first round, the player with the lowest fame chooses the tactic card first. The large numbers on the tactic cards tell you the turn order. The hero tokens are placed from top to bottom in turn order next to the day-night board. When a player begins the game, their character is placed on the portal. During a normal turn, you will select a mana die to be used however is appropriate, play any cards for movement, and then play cards for action. Special effect and healing cards can be used at any time. The first reconnaissance mission is described on page 15 of the rulebook. If you're playing with multiple players, the first reconnaissance mission will take 2 daytime rounds and 1 nighttime round. If you're playing the solo variant, use 2 daytime rounds and 2 nighttime rounds. When a city tile is revealed, all players get to go 1 more time and the game is over. Revealing a tile costs 2 movement points. Take the top tile, flip it over, and align the circle and stars such that the number aligns with the number on the first tile. As you play the game, make sure you have access to all the site cards. They make it very easy to understand what each of the symbols are and what the results are as you interact with them. There are 6 sites that have when revealed actions. So when you reveal the tile and have one of those sites, read the description about when revealed and take that action. For the dummy player's turn, if he's out of cards, he announces end of round, and all the other players have a chance to play their 1 more turn. If the deed deck is not empty, he flips over 3 cards. Then you take a look at the color that's on the last card that was turned over. If he has a crystal that matches that color, then he flips over as many additional cards from the deed deck as he has crystals. So in this case for red, he would flip over 1 more card, and that would be the end of his turn. The very back of the rule book has an excellent summary for playing the game, especially with respect to the combat. If you need more help playing the game, look at some of the other videos that have been created for Mage Night.